Welcome back to episode 7 of the Playbook Pod. Today I am joined by, he was a junior in high school. As a junior in high school, he was named all conference and an all area mention. As a senior in high school, he's named all conference, all area first team, and MSL East Offensive Player of the Year. By the way, this is as a quarterback. His high school track team holds the 4x100 school record. He went to Carthage High School, or not high school, college. He was a CFB player from 2015 to 2018, won all college conference of Illinois and Wisconsin first team, participated in the Browns mini camp in 2019. He was then drafted to the Generals in 2020 to 2021 in the TSL, drafted to the Philadelphia Stars in 2022 to 2023. Then he signed with the Toronto Argonauts in the CFL in 2023 to 2024. This past year, he played for the Vienna Vikings, the AFL, and he started a DB mentorship program called The Vault. It's Amani Dennis.
How you doing? How you doing?
So, for starters, when did you started playing football at the age of what?
Six. Six. Yeah, so I'm 22 years in right now, going on 23. So, played since I was six, tackle football. I never played flag first, so I got straight into it. And then, yeah, it's been my passion ever since.
Well, there you go. That's a good way to start. So you started at quarterback, or no, you started at receiver, right? You said in the
Yeah,
first take.
yeah,
That was
yeah.
unfortunate.
So I started at receiver for the first like 2, 3 games when I was a sophomore in high school, and then we were getting beat pretty bad by one team, and they threw me in at quarterback. And yeah, I didn't leave the field as a quarterback since then until I went to college. I was the smallest guy on the field most of the time, so I was taking a lot of hits, but that's why I switched to DB because I was trying to deliver the hit as opposed to getting hit. So it was cool playing offense, but I'm cool on that, to be honest.
Yeah, I would honestly rather myself would deliver the hit rather than taking it
Right.
because that it feels like there would be possibly or probably more injuries
Yeah.
on offense than there is defense usually.
hmm
So what made you want to switch from quarterback to DB? I know you said you would rather deliver the hits, but you played quarterback until the end of high school. What made you switch to the DB in college, and how hard was the transition?
Um, Honestly, the biggest thing for me was knowing that at DB I can control my own destiny for the most part. So like for you to go to, and I'm speaking about going to the NFL, like for you to go to the NFL or wherever you want to go, like playing receiver, especially at the school I went to, my quarterback was nice at Carthage College, but I didn't want to put my dreams in somebody else's hands. So I figured if I switched to DB, I could control everything, at least from my end, and give myself the best shot to, make it happen one day. And I did. So yeah, that was my thought process behind it.
To be honest, that's actually a different view than I honestly thought of looking at it. Most
Mhm.
receivers are into the QB's hands, depending on the success of the quarterback. In most cases, is how successful a receiver can be.
Right.
As mentioned also in high school, going back to it for a second, you were a multi-sport athlete. You played track and was there any other sports that you played besides track and football or
Yeah, yeah, I hooped. I played basketball for 2 out of the 3 years on varsity. And then growing up, I played baseball.
really? Okay, so you just have experience everywhere. It
Yeah,
sounds like.
I'm a competitor at heart for sure.
There you go. So you went to Carthage. You won all conference of Illinois and Wisconsin from 2015 to 2018. What I'm trying to figure out how to word it. How did you succeed so fast at DB from the switch?
I mean, as cliche as it sounds, I would say my work ethic, to be honest. Like, I knew I was behind the 8 ball in regards to the DB position in the first place. Like, just now learning how to play DB in college was a big adjustment for me. So, in knowing that, I knew I had a lot of catching up to do. My freshman year of college, I didn't play because I tore and broke my ankle during camp, and I was out and played the last like 2 JV games because there was JV in D3. I played those, had some cool experience under my belt, but I knew my time was going to come during camp. summer camp came along, and basically from there it was just hit the road running. I did my thing. I handled my business. I continuously was learning, and trying to be a sponge as much as I can and apply everything that was being told to me. And I think that's a big reason as to why I got to where I got to today.
Did most of your defensive coaches stay in that 2015 team, or did you have a bunch of different coaches as time went on in your college career?
We had the same coach, head coach, DB coach until my senior year. And then my senior year came around and my DB coach got hired as a head coach, but he was still our DB coach. So I still had the same coach all 3 years throughout college, and me and him were really close, was really close in college. Great guy, Coach Haas. He's honestly the reason why I got an opportunity in the first place, which we could talk about later with my pro day.
Oh yeah. So how is there any how did you do in the 2015-2018 stretch, like stat wise? Did it improve? Did it go like how did you do?
Yeah, so 2015, I was okay. Like I wouldn't say I was like a game changer. And then because that was like my first real year playing DB for a whole season. So, it was a lot of adjusting and learning on the fly for me. But once junior year came around, I was starting to make some game changing plays, and I knew the playbook really, really well, like the back of my hand. And because of that, it put me in some good positions to make some plays. So, junior year went good. Senior year, I did even better. I balled out my senior year, did pretty well. I think my career, I ended up with 11 interceptions in those 3 years, two of
Oh,
them
there you go.
for pick sixes. I think I had 32 PBUs and
Dang.
100 tackles. So,
Holy.
yeah, so I handled my business while I was there. Um, but like I said, it was adjustment at first, but I definitely got better each year while I was there. So that's the main thing, the good thing.
Yeah, that's you are definitely going to get some opportunity, which we will talk about here in a minute. Your pro day of Carthage, how did that go? And then how did the Browns minicamp opportunity come about?
Yeah, so in D3 where at least I went to college, D3 Pro Day was invitational. So I didn't get invited to it, but I knew what I wanted to do in my heart of hearts, and I knew that this would be my last opportunity to chase ball. So I told my coach, I was like, you got to get me in this Pro Day somehow. And he gets me in there, long story short. And yeah, I went in there. There was only one scout there. A lot of people were like all upset about it and stuff like that, but me, I was just so happy that there was a scout there. And I prepared myself the best that I could. I didn't have a pro day trainer or anything like that. I did everything on my own. Went in there, ran a 4.36 and a 4.42, and I was like the star of the pro day, I guess you could say. The only scout there was a Green Bay scout, but Elliot Wolf, who was the assistant general manager of the Packers at that time, I believe, went to Cleveland and had a relationship with this scout that was at our pro day. And Elliot Wolf is known to kind of take chances on small school guys. So they heard about me from the pro day. And then on top of that, which I never got in contact with him prior, but my dad played D1, and his old coach was the new DC. I believe he was the DC at Cleveland, Steve Wilkes. So
Yep, that sounds. Oh, yeah, that's very familiar.
yeah, I think he is with Carolina now. I'm not sure, but I last seen him with San Francisco.
Believe you are correct on that.
Yeah, but we knew that he was there. He coached my pops before, but we didn't know if we was gonna get an opportunity from it, and everything lined up, and I got my opportunity and ended up in Cleveland, so it was a blessing.
Back to the Steve Wilkes thing. Actually, he did get fired in December of 2015. He got fired from the Jets. He's currently
Okay,
a free agent. But
okay,
how was the Browns minicamp experience overall?
hmm
Obviously, the opportunity came from Wolf. What was the
yeah,
experience like at minicamp?
yeah. It was very eye opening. Like I can't really put into words because I was in such a locked in state of mind that it's kind of like out of body. I'm not really sure how to explain it, but I was kind of in like a survival type of mode, knowing I was in there coming from D3. I'm the only D3 guy there, stuff like that. First day, it was cool. I was always the first guy on the bus in there doing meetings with the coaches before breakfast would start and stuff like that. Practice went well. Day two came around. I started balling out. Honestly, I started balling out. I had a really good practice, and they pulled me aside at the end of practice, and they're like, 17, come here. And then they started getting all my measurements, my hands, my weight, like everything. And I was the only person they did this to. So in my
Hmm.
head, I'm like, all right, like, they liking me right now. We just gonna keep going. And then day three comes around, or actually before day three, I meet with the coach, and um, he pulls me into his office, and he's telling me that he really likes how I play, and I play bigger than what I am, and just keep handling my business, and everything will work out. Day three came around. I had an okay practice. I had one rep that wasn't the best, and I wouldn't say that was the reason as to why I got cut. That's just part of the game. Like, there was a bunch of people that got cut that day, but I overall handled my business. I was really happy with how I performed. It showed that I could play against these guys, and no, it was a blessing. It was a blessing to be in there, honestly.
So, like you said, you did get unfortunately cut, which I kind of wish I would have saw you on the Browns. That would have been
Yeah,
really fun
it's all
back then.
good.
How did that change your mindset at all, or did you kind of just bounce back and you're like, I'm gonna give this another crack somewhere else, or with your next opportunity that we'll mention here in a couple minutes?
Yeah, it bothered me just like some of them D1 guys, they're used to the business side of football, but me coming from D3, I was just so emotional about it. Like, I was really like in a fight or flight type mode whenever I was over there and even after. So I kind of took it hard a little bit, but then I got right back to it. Like, it wasn't no thinking about it anymore at that point. I didn't know where that next opportunity was going to come from. All I know is that I did mini camp with Cleveland, so hopefully we could find an opportunity somewhere. Yeah, and then COVID came around, and that's what my next opportunity came around too.
So you got drafted to the Generals. Did you get drafted, or did you just go
Yeah,
there?
yeah, yeah. So it was the Generals in the spring league. One of my boys told me about the spring league and was like, just put your name in this like survey thing. I think it was like a form or survey or something. And he was like, it's for this league called the spring league. We're gonna play during COVID, stuff like that. And I'm just like, okay. Like, I didn't think anything of it, to be honest. And all of a sudden I see my name on the Instagram, and I'm like, oh. But I was prepared though. Like, I was already training. I was already ready. Like, I stayed ready. So I wasn't tripping about getting picked up. Like, oh, I got to get ready. I was already good. I was more excited to, go over there and handle business. So we went to San Antonio my first year, and then my second year we went to Houston.
So you went there. How did you do in the TSO? How did you fare?
Yeah, I would say I played pretty good. I mean, it was my first time going live against guys who have actually been in the league, been to these D1 schools, stuff like that. So it was a good it was a good like benchmark for me to see how I stack up against these type of dudes. But I competed, I handled my business, I excelled. I made a name for myself in that league, and that's ultimately what led me to my next opportunity. So, um, yeah, I never really doubted my ability. It was just me, or I never doubted my ability. It was just me seeing, it stack up against all these other guys. And once I seen that I fit right in, and honestly, I could ball, it was just good from there, to be honest.
Did you have any picks or any notable stats
Yeah,
from that tenure?
yeah. I forgot how many picks I had. I think I had 4 within the 2 years,
I
maybe
could probably look it
5. I
up.
think I got 2 and 3, 2 and then 3. It might have been 4 though. I would have to check. I would have to check. I have all that stuff in my
Yeah, that's just not on the internet at all. I thought that would have been on the internet, but apparently not. It just said you signed there. That was all it said.
Oh,
And
okay.
then your next opportunity was USFL before it became the UFL.
Yep. Yep.
You got drafted in the startup. I believe that's when it started back up, correct? 2022 was when it started back up?
Yep. Yep. Startup
Started back
year.
up. You got drafted in the startup to the Philadelphia Stars. How did that opportunity come about, and how did you perform there?
Yeah, so my coach in the spring league, Coach Martin Bayless, great guy, great guy. Me and him are still close to this day. Great coach. He coached me specifically in the spring league, and when the USFL came around, I didn't know if I was going to get picked up for it or not, but I found out that coach was going to be coaching over there, and I told him, if you need a DB, I'm ready. I'm one of your guys for sure, and he came through and he threw my name in there, and ever since that, I had to make a name for myself again. So he was the reason why I got into the USFL. I didn't start for the first 3 games. I wasn't starting. I was playing special teams and stuff like that. But then they threw me in the middle of a game because some stuff was happening with the other corner, and yeah, I took over from there. Honestly, I think I led the
You
league in picks that year.
oh, okay, so you
Yeah,
balled out.
yeah,
You came in pretty motivated.
yeah. Oh yeah, I was motivated. That was like the USFL was like my first like real. I'm not counting Cleveland. I'm saying like the USFL was like my first real time seeing how cutthroat this business is. Like, when that money's on the line, and you got guys fighting for spots and stuff like that. So I definitely was in a mode over there. Um, yeah, so it was good. It was a good season. We didn't end it how we wanted to. We lost in the championship game. I didn't have the best of my games that game either, but I got redemption for myself later in the championship game I played last year. So
Oh, there you
some of
go.
those things stick with me. Yeah.
So after the USFL, did you think you were gonna go back, or this is where the next opportunity comes about? What happened with the Stars, and were you gonna go back, or did you just say screw it and go to the CFL?
Yeah, so they shut the USFL down, at least with 4 teams, and Philly was one of those 4 teams. So I didn't know what I was going to do next. I was thinking that I was going to get picked up by another team because I had just signed with the agent that I'm with now, who I really love. He's a great guy too. He was looking to help get me in the USFL or the UFL, what it's called now, but it didn't happen. So then he had some connections in Toronto, and then that's how I ended up there. So I was trying to stay in the UFL, but I didn't get opportunity, and the CFL came, so that's when I ran with that. So
How was the experience in Toronto?
it was good. It was good. I would say for me personally, like the business just happened, and it happened to happen with me at the time that season in Toronto. Like, even though they won the Grey Cup, like it started out pretty rocky in the first like beginning half of the season. So there was a lot of people in and out the door, and unfortunately I was part of that. But while I was there, I handled my business. Was a great dude in the locker room. The coaches liked me, stuff like that. But business is business. So yeah, they sent me home, and then I was figuring it out from there.
Are you in Europe because of this opportunity right now, or are you in Europe for a different reason right now?
No, I'm in Europe right now because of this opportunity. I chose to live out here full time after this past season. Um, I don't know if I should talk about how the season went last season for Europe yet, or should I wait?
That Well, we'll just dive into it. So this past year,
Okay.
you played for the Vienna Vikings.
Yeah.
in the European Football League. Where are they based out of? Are they
Vienna,
just like is
Austria.
it Austria? Wow, I
Yeah.
was not expecting Austria. Okay,
Yeah.
so you played in Austria. Is it just like a league in like, is it all over Europe or is it just like in parts of Europe?
Yeah, so it's all the teams are different countries and there's a couple teams in each country, but the ELF is the highest competing league out here in Europe. You see a lot of honestly XD1 guys, even NFL guys. For example, I went up against Mike Harley last season, big Miami University standout, play in the league, stuff like that. So there's some dudes over here. And, in being an American, you only guard the Americans. So, like, we're still playing, like, high level ball. And there's only 4 Americans per team. So, it's a great opportunity. I don't have to pay for my housing or, some of my food, most of my food. Everything's paid for, and, I get paid to do what I love. And, it's a great opportunity. I travel the world. I've been to 11 countries last year and counting. So, yeah, it's been really fun. It's opened my eyes a lot.
How many teams are in this league? You said
Uh,
there's multiple per country.
yeah, so there's a battle right now going on with the ELF. They kind of did what the USFL did and the XFL, and now they're splitting into two different leagues because it always comes down to money
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So the league that we're in right now has 7 teams, and those range anywhere from Paris to Italy to Germany, a bunch of different places, Austria, Switzerland. So, there's a bunch of different countries that we're going to be traveling to, playing at. And yeah, so it'll be fun.
Is it round robin format? So there's 7 teams, you play all of them once?
They
Or
haven't
is it the
came out with
six?
the schedule. Yeah, they haven't came out with the schedule yet. So I can't give you any insight on that right now, at least
I
because I'm
gotcha.
still waiting on the schedule also.
I gotcha. So how does when's the season start? When's the new season start?
Uh, should be starting around May.
May? And then
Yeah.
when did this past one end? End of last year?
Um, Yeah, we went to the championship and it ended September 7th.
Oh, so you're right there. You're about
Yeah,
ready to get it rolling.
yeah.
How did the first season in the EFL go with the
Uh,
Vikings?
It was good. It was good. I came in, I did my thing, honestly. I got first team All Star my first year here, which was a blessing. And then I came second in the league for leading picks, but I punt returned. I did really well at that. I handled my business overall, to be honest. I had an injury that happened after game 3 or 4 that kept me out for 4 games, and 4 games, and I still came in second in the league in picks, and um, even dropped a couple, which pisses me off. Well, it's all good. I'm gonna get them next time, but yeah, for me to be injured those 3 4 games and still get first team All Star. It felt good because, I got recognized for, being in there even less games than some other guys and, really made an impact in that way. So it felt good for me, to be honest, and I'm ready for this upcoming season to do it again.
Just imagine if you were in those 3 to 4 games, you probably would have added another 2 to 3 picks to that total
Yeah,
that you
yeah, it's
finished
all
with.
good. It's all good. It's part of the game.
So we'll dive past the your football journey a little bit. You started what I don't know when you started this mentorship program. Was it this past year
I
while you're
started
in
it
off
four
season?
months ago. Literally 4 months ago in 2 days.
So you started a program called the Vault. Do you want to go into detail on what that is, what consumers can expect?
Yeah, yeah. So the Vault is basically a DB mentorship program where I train guys online. This is anything from technique to mental to IQ. to us having like real deep conversations and stuff like that about what it's like chasing this football dream. Right now, I got 5 total clients, and we're doing really well. I hold 3 group calls a week. Each of them are an hour and a half, and those are broken up into specific things. So Mondays we got technique. Tuesday or Thursdays we got IQ, and then Sundays we have mental. And like I talk about like a word of a day. And then basically, each call we talk about any questions that they have. They can ask me whatever it is they got, technique, life, football, doesn't matter what it is, and we talk about it, and then we get to work right after that. So it's been going really well. It's been going really well. Looking to get some more guys. I'm not trying to coach a million guys. I really just want a good, solid group of like 20 to 30 guys that really want to put their time and effort and into this, and I'm gonna do the same for them. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. Still building, just like how I did with my football career. Still early, so everything's going good right now. So we're still building and we're still getting right, but we're putting the work in, all of us together, and it feels good.
That's awesome. I'm guessing since it's all virtual, do you have any plans to come back to the States and then try to make it like where they can have in-person sessions, or are all these people like kind of variety from all over the world?
Yeah, they're from all over. So I got 2 guys in Germany. Both of them are pros. One of them plays in the league that I'm in. And then I got 3. I got a college guy and then 2 high school guys in the States. So it's all virtual. They send me clips of them doing drills, specific drills that I tell them to do. And then we'll sit down for an hour and I'll coach them up on exactly what they need to fix. And, they'll go fix that throughout the week. And then we'll reconvene at the end of the week, and we still have those group calls throughout. I run it on a platform called School, where it's like a community. Basically, all of us are in there. And, we could talk, we can drop clips, we could drop feedback, do what we got to do in there. And then the calendar for the meetings are in there also.
That sounds awesome. It sounds
Yeah.
like you're slowly building something special over there in Europe.
Yeah.
How so do you, like I mentioned earlier, I don't think you touched on it. Do you plan on coming back to the States, or are you gonna be full-time Europe for a while?
No, I'm definitely gonna come back to the States. I do love Europe, don't get me wrong. The quality of life is very, very high out here. It's completely different than the States. And I do love it for that reason. But I will be back at home. Where that is, I don't know. My mom, she knows I want to move to Puerto Rico. So, maybe hopefully I can move there after the season. If not, I'll probably just go back to Florida. I'll go to Chicago for a little bit, see the family, take my
Mm.
vacation time like I always do. But, I need that nice weather. I can't do that snow anymore. So,
Oh no, the snow
yeah.
here is not good.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm trying to get back where it's nice at. So, but I'll definitely be out here in Europe again, though, for sure. I definitely plan on being out here a lot.
Where do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years? Do you see yourself in an NFL opportunity?
Um, I don't really think about that anymore. Like I used to think about it so much to where like it would consume me, and then I realized that like it's beyond my control. Like I've showed that I can compete with all these guys that have been in the NFL before, and no opportunity came out of it. Okay, so be it. Well, on to the next one. So, would I love it? Hell yeah, shit. I wish I could, go over there and prove myself like I always do, and be in that locker room. But if it doesn't come, then God got what He got for me, and I'm not second guessing it. So in the next 5 to 10 years, I'm gonna play ball as long as I can, depending how on my body starts feeling. But after that, I'm full blown into entrepreneurship and
The
changing the
vault.
script and yeah, the vault and getting into real estate and stuff like that.
Real
I
estate.
really have,
Interesting.
yeah, I have some big plans for after football to help set my life up.
Well, there you go. Real estate. What was the thought on real estate? How did that come about?
Yeah, after the USFL shut down, I didn't know if I was going to get picked back up for any opportunity. So I started wholesaling real estate and actually did pretty well. I mean, and I only did it for 4 months until I left for camp. And me and my boy, who played in the NFL also, because he was on my team in the USFL, we lived in Tampa together. We were wholesaling together. We closed 4 deals. We were self taught, stuff like that. So, it was good to kind of get our foot in the door with that, but I want to get into developing and stuff like that for,
So
you
investing
know,
in properties and trying
yeah.
to flip them for, isn't that what that's called?
Yeah, I
Developing and
mean
then flipping?
there's a bunch of different things that you could do. There's like fix and flip, there's actual developing, there's BRRRR method, which is like buy, renovate, resell, refinance. So, there's a bunch of different stuff that you could get into, but yeah, I plan on getting into developing. I want to develop luxury homes.
Well, there you go. But
Yep.
we're gonna dive into something a little bit different. Do you still watch the NFL in Europe, or are you kind of just disassociated with it now?
I watch it sometimes. I obviously watch the Super Bowl. One of my boys that I trained with in Chicago, Julian Love, he played in the Super Bowl. So
Well, there you
it
go.
was cool to see him get that ring. So, I mean, I watch just to watch sometimes, but, I'm not really big on watching the NFL that much, to be honest.
Well, I was gonna have you rank your top three favorite corners to watch
Oh,
when you
okay.
do watch
I
it.
can do that.
Just your top three favorite corners to watch. Who are they and why?
Can they can they not be playing also?
Yes, just in general.
Um, okay. I like watching Pat Surtain for sure. He's nice. I think he's the best corner in the league right now. I like Jair Alexander. I I kind of he reminds me of myself, vice versa. I see my game in his a lot. Third corner, I would say gotta go Jalen Ramsey. Gotta go
Jalen
Jalen.
Ramsey.
Yeah, gotta go Jalen Ramsey. Yeah, so those are like the three guys that I watch the most for sure. But I really watch Jair the most.
Jair. What's with
Yeah.
Jair? You just see his game, like you said you see your game when he plays.
Yeah, yeah. He's not big. He's not like, um, he's only what, like probably 5'10", 5'11", just like
I
me.
thought he was 6 foot. Hold on, let
Is he?
me. I'm fact checking. I'm fact checking.
Yeah, I think he's
Um,
5.
yeah, you're right. 5'10", 196.
Yeah, yeah. So, but he's quick with his feet. So that reminds me a lot about me, to be honest. But Pat Surtain, I watch a lot on him, especially as of recently. He's just such a technician and he could switch it up and do so many different things. And he's definitely the best corner in the league right now, in my opinion. And then Jalen Ramsey's Jalen Ramsey. I mean, he's been handling his business for all these years that he's been in the league and, is definitely an impact guy. So, I've always watched him also. But I definitely relate my game to Jair between all three of those.
Oh, are you a Packers fan, or do you just like Jair in general?
No, I just like Jair. I'm not really a fan of any teams. I just like players because I like to study players. So
Fair.
yeah, I'm not a big liking of a team type guy, I guess you could say. And I definitely gave up on the Bears ever since they lost the Super Bowl back in like whatever year that was. Yeah, so
Just gave him up.
yeah,
Well, we'll dive into the Q&A that I got. I got 6 questions for you.
okay.
Four of them are related to DBs. The other two are kind of interesting.
Okay.
Actually, speaking of, I asked you what your favorite team and favorite player was. That was actually one of the questions. Was your favorite team and player? You said
Okay.
Jair.
Yep.
And then, if you had to pick a favorite team or like a team to root for, what would it be,
Um,
or who would it be?
well, if I would pick a team to play for, it'd probably be the Bucks or maybe
Bucks.
Miami. Yeah. I know
Big
Miami's
Florida
not the
guy.
best, but Yeah, I'm just a Florida. I love my Florida vibes. Like that's why I moved out there. A lot of my homies are from Florida, so I don't know, the Florida vibe would be cool to play for sure.
Got to be with the homies, not the Jaguars.
Nah, ain't nothing in Jacksonville. Yeah.
Nothing in Jacksonville. Fair enough. Next question I got was, what's his favorite baseball team? Just a random
Uh,
one.
my favorite baseball team. I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say. I'm gonna be biased. I'm gonna just say. I'm gonna say the Cubs. I'm gonna say the Cubs.
I like that
Yeah,
pick. I'm a
yeah. I'm
big
gonna say
Cubs
the
fan. Better
Cubs.
than the Sox.
Yeah,
Sox have been
for sure.
nothing since what 2015, like 20. I don't even know when they were last went to the playoffs. To
Yeah,
be
and
honest with you.
we used to live up north in the city, so yeah, we gonna go with the north side guys, the good guys, and go with the Cubs.
So there you go. Next question is from one of my buddies of mine. How would you approach trying to guard an elite receiver like JSN at his size, or a J or a okay? Well, I just worded that wrong. My bad. A Puka at his size or a JSN.
Yeah, I mean each one has their different, things that they're good at. So, I think the biggest thing with that is knowing my own strengths. I know that I'm fast. I know I get out of my breaks really well, and I know that I'm quick. So, with that being said, like maybe a guy like JSN, like he might not like hands being put on him. So maybe I try and go get hands on him as fast as I can because he is that quick and twitchy and stuff like that. And then guys like Puka, like, maybe he gonna have to try and beat me with speed. So, it just depends on the receiver that you're going against, what you see he struggles with against other DBs guarding him, and see what he excels with other DBs guarding him, and kind of just use that to game plan how you're going to play against him. So, it switches from receiver to receiver, to be honest.
So this is just a question for me. So out of all of your opportunities, who is the toughest matchup for you to guard? Who is the toughest guy you've ever had to
Um,
guard?
I would say I'm a show love to Daryl Stewart. He's nice. He's nice. He was a big guy at Michigan State. I'm not sure if he went to the league or anything like that, but I played against him in the USFL. I played against him out here. He's actually on our team now. So I would say him, and maybe Victor Bolden. I would put him up there. He was really fast. He was a fast guy. But that's it for real though. I mean, I don't really, I just look at handling my business. Like I'm not worried about what they got going on. So, but yeah, I definitely show respect. Daryl, I'm giving it to Daryl for sure. He's nice.
There you go. Give it to Daryl. Shout out Daryl. Next question is also from one of my friends. Who are some of the most notable players that you've worked with or mentored?
Worked with, like playing with.
I'm assuming training with. I would say training
Okay.
with. So you did say
Uh,
Julian Love earlier.
yeah, Julian Love. Man, there was a bunch of different guys that rolled in and out of when we were training in Chicago. I'm trying to think of DBs specifically though. What was his name? Farley. I think Matthias Farley. He used to play. He retired.
Titans? Sound
Yeah,
familiar team?
Titans. Yeah,
It was I think it was
I
Caleb.
forgot.
I forgot his
I
first name.
forgot his first name. His last name is Farley.
I think it's Caleb Farley. I think sounds right.
Oh yeah, it
Yeah.
might be.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's on the Panthers right now. Caleb Farley.
or he's retired now. He's retired.
Oh, wait, that
I
was
think.
2024. Never mind.
Yeah, I think it's Matthias, or is it Caleb? It
I think
might
it
be
might
Caleb.
be. Yeah,
I
Matthias
don't know.
Farley was a football safety, signed for the Cardinals as an undrafted free agent in 2016. He's bounced around in the NFL to several different teams.
The last team
Do you
that he
remember
was
if
with,
more of he was a safety?
yeah, he was a
Was
safety.
okay, so it was Matthias then. Yeah, Matthias Farley would
Yeah,
be the right
yeah,
guy.
him. DHC. He used to play for the Bears.
Oh, DeAndre Houston Carson.
Yeah,
What a pull.
Mike Joe, my boy Mike Joe. He played for the Bears, I think, for 2, 3 years. Channing Stribling, me and him played together for what, 4 years together in the spring league and then in the USFL. I've been around some guys, to be honest. I played against, and Corey Coleman was my teammate in the USFL.
I remember him.
Yeah, the receiver. Um, Went against some guys and, had some teammates that were some guys for sure. For sure.
I'm guessing they mentored you up, most of them that did make it to the league.
I would say Strib. Me and Strib ended up like being really, really close. Like that's still my guy to this day. We talk. When I got to the spring league, Strib really, helped me out and took me under his wing a little bit. And that's actually something I was talking to my clients about the other day was, when you go pro, there's going to be some OGs that are there that, if you're blessed enough to have them, they'll help you and take you under their wing and do anything they can to help you be the best you could be. But that's more of a blessing because, it's dog eats dog world and, you got to handle your business regardless. But I was lucky to have Strib on my side. He definitely helped me a lot for sure.
That's awesome, man. That's insane. Next question is from Ball Universe. What is the hardest part about playing corner?
Kind of got me thinking on this one. Hardest thing of playing corner. I would say I really don't know how to answer that question to be honest. I just feel like it's a tough position in general. Like you got to be so on point at every moment that it's just the moment that you slack, you getting exposed. So I would say the hardest part is keeping that focus for someone that isn't high level. I'm gonna say that because someone that's high level is gonna keep that focus out there the whole time for sure. So yeah, I would say that keeping that focus, not falling asleep out there.
Just staying locked in, essentially.
Yes. Yeah, staying locked in, they not throwing my way right now. Oh, this is boring. And then the moment you think that now there's a bomb over your head. So, just staying ready for your time and knowing that it's going to come at some point. So, yeah, I would say that. And then I got to shout out my dog Mozzie also. My dog Mozzie Wilkins played in the NFL for 3 years. That I'm the godfather of his son. He's
Congratulations.
Yeah, he's definitely someone who helped me a lot also while I was in the USFL, so them too for sure.
Shout out Mozzie.
Yeah.
And the final question I ended up getting was from Hobby One Football. What is the best trait for any defensive back to have?
The best trait.
Trait, yeah.
Are we saying something that can be controlled or something that like you're God gifted with? We could do both.
Do both because this question that's how it was worded, so I don't really know what it
Yeah.
was referring
We
to.
we could do both. God gifted ability, I'm saying speed. If you got speed, then that's definitely gonna help you out a lot. Um, and if you mix that with something that you can't control, and that's like having efficient feet, then I think you're you're honestly like the perfect DB.
Speed
Speed,
is one of the best attributes anywhere, it feels like. I feel like if you have
yeah,
speed, you're just good at everything.
yeah. I mean, but you do gotta have nice feet though, because there's people with speed that are getting beat
Yeah,
fast. So like the speed could only take you so far, if that makes sense. The
I
efficient
agree
feet
with
is
that.
what the efficient feet is what's really gonna help you excel and handle your job and do what you got to do in regards to your brakes and flipping your hips and stuff like that. So I would say those two things. You got to have nice hips too.
How long did it take you think, to have very precise footwork to where you are now? We'll end that on that probably.
Honestly, I would say it took me grinding all of college and even my first year in the USFL, I was still getting right. I'd say my second year in the USFL is when I was feeling comfortable with my footwork and
There you go.
felt like really good. But it's always a learning process. Like the moment you stop learning, you might as well put football down. It's always trying to keep getting better with the feet, always. Still work on my feet to this day. But yeah, I would say second year of the USFL, that's probably when my feet started being really, really comfortable. And then
It's
CFL
definitely
and now,
translated. It's definitely
yeah, for
translated
sure.
if you almost led the league in picks, for
Yeah,
sure.
for sure.
Well, I won't keep it too much longer. That'll be pretty much the end of this section. I'm guessing it's like 1 a.m. where you're at, right? If you're in Europe, like 1 in the
Yeah, I
morning,
mean,
2 in the morning?
I'd be up anyway. It's 2 right now, but it's
It's
the
2,
weekend.
damn.
Yeah, it's the weekend. I'm up anyway. I'll be chilling. I'll be
Okay.
training, and I do my stuff with the vault with my clients sometimes at night. So I'll be up regardless. So it's all good. I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, I got you, bro. Thank you for joining me. Do you want to end on like the vault more? Is there something you want to end on
Yeah,
before we sign off?
I mean, if there's any DBs that's out there that is, watching the Ultimate Playbook shows and stuff like that, you could come get work with me. I told him earlier that I don't want a million DBs. I only want to put my time into guys who are really, putting the effort into becoming the best that they could be and really get to that next level. So, if you're one of those guys and you're needing some guidance, some mentoring, whether if that's IQ, technique, mindset, anything like that, then you could follow at the Vault DB on Instagram. Reach out to me, and then we'll go from there and see if it's a fit.
Yeah, Amani's a very successful DB. Even though you're not in the NFL, you're dominating in Europe. It sounds like, and it's only gonna get better from here on out.
Yeah,
It feels like.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
Um, yeah, you're gonna be just fine. You're gonna be dominating. I have full faith. I got full
Appreciate
faith
that.
in you, man.
Yep,
Segment
appreciate that.
two. Segment two will be I'm actually being joined by a Chicago State running back for the next segment, so it'll be pretty interesting to talk to him.
Oh,
I
that'd be
thank you
cool.
again, Amani, for sitting down and taking some time out of your day to
Yep, no
sit
problem.
down with me.
Yep, no problem. Thanks for having me.
No problem, man.